You've got to jump. Jump through the gates. Come on. It's an Abaddon. Come on. We need it.
Hello and welcome, Kevinator1990. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Oh, it's awesome to be here, man.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, we're just both real busy, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, what kind of job do you do?
I'm actually a machinist, so
Oh,
I take big, huge pieces of material and use a lathe to turn it down into specific parts.
oh, very cool. You also have do you have a big family?
Yeah, my family's pretty big. Me and my immediate family. I'm of course married. I got 3 daughters, so yeah,
Yeah, three is a good number.
yeah.
All right. So first off, what corporation and alliance are you in?
Right now, I'm in Trimark Alliance, and I've been in Nomadic Nightmares pretty much almost since the beginning, since I started Eve.
All right. How are they doing? The nightmares.
Nightmares, they're doing pretty good. We've had a lot of guys had some real life stuff with just having family, having kids. So
Yeah.
some have taken breaks, but it's a very tight group, and we're doing pretty good.
How many players?
I think it's like 13. We've actually got some recruits that are doing really good PvP work now with us, which is really awesome to see.
All right. And what kind of corp is that generally?
The Nomadic Nightmares,
Yeah.
that's a pirate corps. We've joined Trimarch as just kind of just because of the games evolving with capitals and stuff. So that was part of that move.
All right. But now you're in Trimark.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference between those two? Would you say?
Yeah, I'd never honestly really paid attention to what alliances were what, and when we started to move to an alliance, I still didn't really pay attention, but I quickly learned that politics is a pretty big deal when you're into Sov. So
Oh yeah.
that was the biggest headache I think for me, being somebody that just likes to PvP, just to go out and hunt all the time.
Yeah. So you like the pirate life.
Oh yeah, I think the hardest thing for me is dealing with people that don't understand PvP or um, and there too you have spies everywhere. It's just it kind of muddies the water to me. I think I miss the days being just a straight pirate, and the only people I didn't shoot was 12 guys.
Yeah. That's how I played Eve Online. I had a corporation with 2 members, and everything else was hostile. Enemies everywhere.
That's awesome. I always like hearing your stories about your EVE Online history and stuff because I've always wanted to hear like what your PvP stories were, because that's where the gold is for me in EVE Online or EVE Echoes is just the memories. That is really
Oh
where
yeah.
the game gets its spark for me.
Yeah. I can give you one story that just popped up in my head. I'm not sure if I told it. Eve Online. When I was a pirate, no, I was not a pirate back then. I was a war declaration corp, and we were 2 people. So we war decked people like corporations all over the world, like the universe. We basically did it because they could pay money and not have the war. But when they did like accept it and go to war, I took my Tech 3 ship. It was a Proteus or a Proteus, and it was extremely tanky. And I went to their home bases and I just sat there. And as soon as they undocked, I just kept shooting, so they docked again until there were like enough people to undock and like have courage to fight me back. And then I killed them, because then I had another friend jumping in, and as soon as they started hunting me, I just logged. I just went away. People couldn't find us. We were only 2 people. It was an
That is
amazing time.
awesome.
Yeah. It was really mean, to be honest. Like yeah, I'm gonna camp your station, and then I just logged, and people couldn't do
Mhm.
anything because they didn't know. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like you remind me of this tactic that we've had to pull on these guys that were just running miners back to the station. Of course, when we'd come in system, we just bubbled their station. So when we logged
yeah,
in, they would just come to our bubble. I
yeah,
mean, that's one thing too that just makes this awesome is there's so many different tactics that you can do with a tight knit group as opposed to getting six randoms, that don't know what's going on or who to follow or who knows what, and you just have a scrimmage all over the place.
yeah. And after a while, you learn how your friends play. So
Hmm.
in my situation, like in the like what I was talking about, like my friend there, he I knew exactly how he played, so I could do my thing, and I knew that as soon as an opportunity came, he started bumping them because he always had a faster ship, and so he kind of always looked at like if they undocked with Vindicators or Macarios, he just bumped them away so I could kill them further away so they couldn't dock, and I didn't have to tell him anything, He saw the situation and he saw the opportunity and he just went for it. So I
Nice.
have a lot of old videos that, the quality is really bad, but as long as I can watch it and see it and kind of reminisce over how it was, the memories that you talk about, it's really nice actually to look back at it, and I really hope that we can do it on Eve Echoes too.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think NetEase has some things to learn and stuff, but I mean, with a game like this, it's not your normal sandbox. You have a heavy integration of community and the type of strategies that are possible in the game and so forth. And you have Sov. It creates quite a big a big ship to make and steer it right. But I think I think the money, real money transaction stuff could be slowed down a little bit, but I think we just need more events. I think you've talked about that before too, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, more events, more stuff. Um, I always say, give us more than we want, and we will get everything. Like every ship, like there's so many ships they could implement. And someone said, oh, maybe we get sleeper ships. And I heard that. I think Benzi said something like, yeah, we're not gonna get sleepers because of some reasons. And I agree. Like, yeah, we probably can't get sleeper ships. But then I thought about it, like, Eve Echoes. If we're gonna get sleeper ships, it's gonna be on Eve Echoes. Because why not? Why not? It makes us get more ships. It makes us save money. It makes us play the game.
Yeah, I think one thing I was thinking of is with alpha players is that if they could create a tournament, or what have you for certain tier players, and also make it where through this week or this day or whatever, it's certain tier ships, like you want all these tier of this ship type and so forth. So that I mean, I see a lot of ships out there that are it's like almost like a slasher two. You know what I mean? It's always usually the top end of every ship that is out there to fly. But I wonder
Yeah.
if we could try to, you know what I mean? And I wonder there too if it would help the market also. But
It would help.
that's kind
And the issue we have is that every cruiser is the same, like the Omen, the Caracal. It's pretty much the same ship. It's just a different hull. It looks different. Like it looks different, but it kind of plays the same. We got the same slot layout, and if we would have different slot layouts on the same kind of ships, then we would like see different omens, and we would see Caracals instead of omens, and maybe omen is bad and you drive a Caracal instead. But here we kind of go for the higher tier, or as you say, like the Slasher 2, the Dominix 2. There's no need to fly a Dominix 1 unless you can't fly a Dominix 2, like if you can't afford. I mean, but the Dominix 2 is kind of the goal, right? And then you have the Rattlesnake, which is the goal, and you have that for every ship. And I mean, in time, everyone is going to have enough money to fly those ships. And what are you gonna do then? We need.
of yeah.
I mean, you will always need tackle, of course, and there will always be some ships that have an advantage that we actually will need. But there are so many ships that we don't actually need today, and we don't even have that many ships.
Yeah.
So
It seems to me it is such a complicated thing. I've heard you talk about many different solutions, and a lot of them sound pretty good. And then I see what NetEase actually does, and what other some other YouTubers might say, and it's interesting to see all the different angles of it. But it's yeah, I just think that they need to give more attention to the player base. Obviously, I mean I think that's kind of a common repeat.
yeah, and I have to say I think they do. Now I'm not a CC, so I don't see what everyone else sees that is a CC, but I get the feeling that they do listen a little bit more now. Um, and that is good. And they have done a lot of good stuff this year, even though it's been a quite boring year with no real fun stuff. But I mean, it's good for the game. So I hope that the next year now will be more fun stuff for us. Like maybe even tomorrow.
I hope so. Me, a lot of those upcoming events and things, I don't really pay as much attention to. I just kind of fly around and hunt is where I like to be personally. I'm always usually solo hunting or going with one or two of my guys, and that's it. That's where I like to fly.
Yep. Why do you have a name called Kevinator? I mean, is that a Terminator thing?
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is. So, so the name Kevinator, and usually I like to pick the Kevinator, but usually it's taken. I end up going with Kevinator1990.
Yeah, you're
And
not the anymore. It's not the Kevinator.
no,
Now we have a number because there's so many.
yeah,
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 okay.
that's usually what ends up happening. But no, growing up, I did a impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I guess that's probably what was part of it, and it just kind of stuck,
can
and I just kind of always went by the Kevinator.
can I hear it?
Oh, come on, John Connor. You've got to listen to me. You've got to jump. Jump to the gates. Come on. It's an Abaddon. Come on. We need it. Get to the chopper. Come on. Do it. No, it was.
Dude, that was fucking brilliant, man. Shit, that was
Well,
amazing.
you put me on the spot, but we'll try to get to it.
That was it, dude. We have to fleet up, and you have to talk like that, dude. That would be
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, that would be a good FC move, wouldn't it? Everybody'd love that.
Yeah. Man, that was really good. Yeah,
He's probably one of our favorite actors. I think as a family.
yeah, yeah. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, 31. Damn. All right. Yeah, I'm 40. So yeah, I grew up with him. It's
Yeah.
it's really cool. One funny part is that I actually watched YouTube today, and well, I do it every day. But what I saw today is actually I'm very interested in Edward Furlong. You know the little guy in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I've been kind of, trying to keep up with what he's doing, but he's been like doing all these drugs and he's not been doing movies. So he's only on Comic Cons and stuff like that. I kind of look up to him anyway. He's like, he had everything and he just fucked it up. And so I actually watched him today, like his latest appearance. And then we're talking about Arnold and Terminator, so that was kind of
Yeah.
fun. How that happened. But okay. We got through your name, by the way. So, okay, Kevinator, Terminator, we got that. So, from what game did you come from before Eve Echoes?
Before Eve Echoes, I actually didn't play Eve Online as I saw that game out, and before Eve Echoes, just like anybody else, I played first person shooters and RTS games, real time strategy, some of your MMOs. Yeah, I just played your usual games, Xbox and so forth.
All right. And I would assume that you played on your phone as well, then.
Yeah, some of those games I did play on the phone too. And on Eve Echoes, I play with nothing but my phone right now.
Yeah, same here. But that is how did you saw it in App Store or like do you have an Android? Like how did you find it?
I found it in the App Store, and I read up the description, and I love the description of it, and I pre-registered months before, and just like
Good.
a lot of other players, I started and uninstalled it. I think in like a week,
Did you
and then
uninstall it?
I did after a week. You know, I love the
Why?
graphics. I think it was the learning curve was heavy, and usually I love that, you know, because it means a lot of strategy to the game. Not everybody can just jump in, jump out. Um, and as I was trying to get through the game, it felt like it didn't feel like it was going to be manageable for the mobile platform, you know. And so I got out of it, and you know, in the beginning it was, you know, having a lot of, you know, they was trying to figure out a lot of things and had a lot of new players, and the tutorial wasn't up yet. um, I think that's what was the hardest hit for that game, for Eve Echo's start, was the learning curve and the need for a good tutorial for new players. But when I got back into it, though, oh, I heavily regretted backing out of the game.
How long were you away?
You know, I think I was away for, I think it was about a month or more before I mean, before I really started playing it, I think it was like 6 months total. But I think I got back into it and slowly picked back up into it. I didn't join an alliance for quite some time, and then that's when the game really started for me.
This is interesting. I have not asked these questions before, but I will do it now. And this is because you have a different way of coming into this game. Now, you came in, you say like a half a year into the game. How was it
Yeah.
to start the game half a year into the game when I would assume I was in a, I'm not sure if I was in a battleship, but I was in a battle cruiser, definitely with money. So how was it to start?
You know, I think when I came back in fresh, it was kind of like, you know, I think it was at a good point when I came back in, that there was a tutorial up. I think I jumped right into a caracal. I remember I just asked in help chat one day, and this guy straight up just gave me a caracal. It was way out in null space, um, but yeah, I think it was getting in the healthy. You know, I think it was getting into a healthy realm where the game was starting to take off pretty well from my point of view. But it looked pretty nice. But yeah, battleships was. I remember battleships were taking hold at that time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I got Battleship the first week. And I just knew that people without a battleship, they'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I did some crazy
Yeah.
PvP then. But yeah, a bit cheating actually. It was a bit cheating, but yeah. So what do you do in Ibecos? Like, we know that you're a pirate, but like, how does a day look?
Well, for me, I mean, I do create a little bit of content for other PvPers to enjoy, but usually all of my hunting is just I'll get in my ship and I will fit it to go solo or maybe with a court mate, and I just run out there and hunt. You know, if we have a contract by chance, we haven't had one in a while, and we love those, but I'll just go out and hunt. You know, if it's low sec, I like to go solo in low sec. Of course, you know, I love Bellicose. That's what I run with that. And get a lot of big kills there, or do some null sec hunting with the crew. But that's pretty much what I do. I really don't run anything else. I do Diplo for Trimark between me and our corp, which is always fun.
Always fun. Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
well, you think of a pirate corp being in an alliance. We don't really quite fit in the corner. You know, we don't quite fit as well as they'd like us to, I think.
that might be it. The black sheeps.
Yeah, definitely.
So you don't really do anything else. I had a different question I was gonna ask, but I will ask this first. How do you make money in the game?
Oh, purely from hunting, I think. I think I probably make 300 million from ratting, and that's it for ratting. And then I probably pull. I think I probably pull like 3 or 4 billion a week, maybe in loot. but I don't sell it all. Like I have a lot of it piled up. Like I have some A-type medium rapids that nobody wants to buy. Um, B-type shield mediums way down south and some station for some reason. Like there's a lot of loot that's just scattered around, but that's how I make most of my money. I'll tell you real quick. There was a Balgorn that I found AFK. I don't think I put him in any of my kill reel videos, but he was at 10 billion, and he had a bunch of B types on him, and he dropped most all of them. I think I ended up with like 3 billion in loot from that one kill, and he was AFK.
Very impressive.
So
So
that's usually
yeah.
how. I mean, if you stay on the road hunting it long enough, you're gonna find, you know what I mean. You're gonna find those golden nuggets where you pop a caracal, and he happens to have uh, a a B type, missile launcher for some reason,
Yeah.
and you got a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you scan them? Do you scan when you hunt?
Yeah, I scan really quick. I try to, as soon as I get in, my scanner is already resetting its time by the time my screen loads in, and I sometimes will warp right in blind, right to zero, and just warp to the anomaly. But in low sec, yeah, I get to them real quick. I used to land cloaked and like study the situation and land closer, but by then they run away. So I'm like, nope, I just go right to them. If
Yeah.
they're far away, yeah, if they're far away, I'll cloak up and then I'll warp to a different location, then try to land closer uncloaked. But yeah, I've uh, I've definitely I've definitely turned over every stone with hunting in low sec for sure.
Interesting. Do you feel that stabs are an issue? Or is it okay?
Uh, you know, I think stabs are okay. I think that it's part of the game. I think the problem is for me with stabs is there's a lot of pros to it, but not enough cons,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
I think like the other day, I was running my rattlesnake into a huge, bunch of cruisers and stuff, and I got an arbitrator 2 kill out of it, I think. And on the way out, I uh, I just skipped on what I was saying.
You warped in with your rattlesnake and you got an arbiter
Yeah.
too.
So when I was trying to warp back, when after I popped the RB, I was gonna go ahead and de-aggro and run, and I had the Cinnaball, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and grab the Cinnaball too. He's far enough away from the gate, so I went ahead and webbed him, scrammed him, and I was taking him down. He went to hull, and then he warped away. And I think it's a little aggravating when you're in a situation like that where you realize that you can have a scram on your battleship and have all the tank in the world and have pretty decent DPS, but everybody on grid can just run away. And that's a little bit aggravating, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game.
Yeah, it is. It is. So what is your like we talked about ISK before, like what is your best kill like in value, and then like what is like the most you have looted like in the evening? And how long do you play
Oh,
for an evening?
um, well, before I had a job, no, I I hunt sometimes if I have free time. I love to hunt, like a marathon. I'll fit out my ship to the T, look it over, think about where I'm going, and then start running. Let my buddies know. So I'll hunt like all day if I have time. Um, but I usually hunt at least a couple hours a day. Hop in null or low sec. As far as kills, there's a lot of good kills. I think there's I'll tell you one. Well, for one, loot and money. Obviously that Balgorn at 10 billion, where I looted about 3 billion. That was good
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Um, the other one, this one was kind of a bittersweet. I started out in GenFed, and I was in one of their corps for a couple months, grinding out the game. I was growing fast. So when I decided to leave them, I thought, well, now that I'm with Nomadic Nightmares, I won't go back there and hurt them, or do anything to them, hunt their space or nothing. And I tried to reach out to one of my old corp mates or corp leaders and get a contract for GenFed. And he was real cold feet. He just wasn't very nice about it, to be honest. So as kind of kind of as a response, I went ahead and went down there hunting, and I got a 10 billion Dami 2
Oh,
out of yeah. And he was easy to kill too. That was the saddest part. He had nothing but sentry guns on, sentry drones,
yeah.
and he wasn't hitting me at all. He had a billion in loot, so that was a good day. Um,
Nice.
yeah. Now as far as like uh, intensity, there was one day where I had landed on this fleet of miners, and I had taken out a cover two or two of them. I can't remember. I took several of them out, and then a Dominic's landed, and then another Dominic's landed, and then another one, and then another one. So there was four of
Oh,
them that landed on the grid right at zero. Now I swear I don't know what they were thinking, but I started taking them out. I took two out of the four, and it was
what?
just me.
Man,
Yeah,
like
they were
how fast do you
600. I
fly?
think. Uh, my fit changes a little bit, but I think I was 2,900 or 3,400. It depends.
But they had large drones or what? Like,
Yeah, I don't think they didn't fit right. They didn't have large drones. Two or three of the names he looked like a multi-boxer. It was sad. I felt bad for the guy because I pinned. I had 3 points, right? So I had three disruptors. I put two on one that I was hitting, and then I put another disruptor on another one.
yeah,
Just in maybe I can hold that other one.
yeah.
And yeah, Alliance was going nuts because they're like, "What the heck? You're just popping these dommies left and right. Like, what's going on?"
Man,
But yeah, he wised up after I got two of them, and he warped the other two away.
oh man. I don't think stabs is that bad, but I do feel like some ships are really, really fast, and I kind of
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
that. But that's because I'm a brawler. I'm always slow, man. So that's why I don't like fast ships.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I wish warp cores. I think warp core optimizers. I just wish they were more expensive. You know what I mean? I think
yeah.
that would make me happy. Just make it a little more expensive.
Nothing is expensive in this game, so I would not think that they would ever be expensive. But I would hope that they had more drawbacks, as you say. At least scan resolution would, like if you have one, it would be like twice the time to lock targets, and if you have two, it would be like twice as much again. So I mean, having three or more, you should have probably like 4 minutes to lock a frigate, and some people have like 12. It should be a real mess. I just think that, if you want to be safe, you can be there forever, and then you can just lock forever too. That's what I feel.
Yeah. No, there's a balance. There's a balance
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah. I should not be the one who designs this game. I mean, we would get a lot of good stuff, but it would be fucking a horrible game. It would be really terrifying to do anything. So yeah, I want to have the excitement, man. I want to think twice before I set a route in high sec. I want suiciders. I want dangerous low sec. But yeah, I want kill mails, like kill marks that disappears when you die. So if you have a lot of kill marks, you don't want to PvP with your ship anymore. That feeling.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really what drew me to Eve Echoes anyway. Is that I mean, I think I have two categories of games. There's a game where I build, my character or I build my assets or whatever.
Yeah,
And then there's the games you jump in and jump out, Call of Duty or something like that. You just
yeah.
play for a second, you plan, whatever, and you jump off. But yeah, yeah. I love that's what drew me to Eve Echoes is just that everything that you build actually has weight in the game. When it's lost, you know, it's
It
actually
does.
got some weight to it.
Oh yeah. What other game do you play that is like this?
As far as like a space game.
As far as a game where the items has a real value. that you can feel like I achieved
Mhm.
this, but I can also lose it, you know?
Nothing, you know. Eve would be the first,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know.
I thought you said you played those games and other games like pop in and out, you know, like
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
well, like Call of Duty, you know, you don't have to spend money on it. You know, I mean, you can, but it's not. You're not building anything in the game. You're not.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't lose anything.
yeah.
Um, and I've explained Eve to people where they don't understand the concept, and I'm like, well, think of Call of Duty where you like call in an airplane or something. I'm like, imagine if you actually had to work hard to get that support airplane or whatever helicopter, and if it gets destroyed in a match, it's gone, and their faces are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, then you
Yeah.
have to build for it again. And I'm like, see, that's what creates. So you don't have people just throwing things out in the game. You know, it actually has some reason why you don't want to undock it. You know.
Yeah, I want that too. And I mean, I have ships I don't want to undock. Like, sure I can undock them, but I have ships that I don't really want to go out in PvP with because I mean, I probably die because I die a lot. Uh, so that is cool, but I mean, I can take A type APOC and I can move to Hisek Island with no problems. Like, nothing's gonna happen. And I would rather have it like, you know, I'd rather fly a sheep APOC to Isaac Island and then I move my mods cloaked through through Losec just so I don't die with it on the way. I would I would like that more. Then we could have stations out there that sell items so people don't have to move through Losec and do this. I mean, the so much more potential if we have a more dangerous Losec.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if making it where, well, I was gonna say so that you could use a bubble in there to use drag bubbles in some way to pull people away from the gates, but I don't know. I guess that mechanic wouldn't really actually work in that sense. You'd be too close to the gate.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that, but I would like the sentries to do less damage or something like
Oh,
that. Yeah. So
yeah.
you could actually
Oh, yeah.
gate camp. But active gate camping, you know, you have to tank. But I mean, yeah, people would probably go there with ships that can tank it and just tank it like 24/7, and that would be fine. I think that would be fine. There's other ways around, and there's other way like you can plot routes other ways. So you don't have to go
Yeah.
through
Well,
that system. So that would make. I mean, we do have the auto jumping. You know, you just warp away and you log off your phone and you go back and you're there. Now you could have that even with this, but then you can plot your own destination, like 55 jumps instead of 34, and you can just skip jumping through, for example, Tama, which would be gate camped. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah,
Of course.
yeah, of course. What area do you like the most to PvP in? Is it north, south?
Um, I used to be around Syndicate, and I really like to go anywhere. I think I always like to look at the deepest pockets. Honestly, when I'm null hunting, I look at just the farthest corner of space and plot a course and just hunt through every system. Um, with low sec, I, I hunt through every system. Same thing. I just go to all four corners looking.
It's interesting because we've never met in space, right? Well, you've been on
No.
skin competition, right?
No, I tried to get on the skin competition. I think I was there for the Blitz a while back, if you remember that. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think the only time we ever flew in space was I caught you live running your Abaddon, I think it was. I forget what it was.
Oh,
In Tama. Remember in Tama, and I landed in the Hurricane Logi, and I repped you at range for 2 or 3 times, I think.
oh, maybe.
You were like on your way going down, and I was like, wop wop wop.
Oh
Put your
shit! I
reps.
remember it. I remember it. Yeah. Was it my Abaddon? Wasn't that my? Oh yeah, might be my
I can't
Abaddon.
remember
Yeah.
what it was. You have to. I can't remember what it was,
I think it
but
was my Armageddon.
yeah, that sounds right. I know it wasn't a Balgorn or anything. It wasn't Apocalypse. So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
I remember that one, and I was like, I don't think. Well, I saw that you repped me, but I mean, we were like, you weren't blue, so I was
Yeah,
like,
who
what
is
is
this guy?
going on here? Okay, he's helping me. Maybe he knows something. Maybe he's watching this, or yeah, I can't remember exactly what I thought, but thank you so much because I think I died later, but I think
Oh
you
yeah,
kept me alive for a lot longer. But they just kept warping in and out, and they were stabbed and stuff. Those people, so it was an unfair fight, but I was there for an unfair fight, so I didn't. I don't complain.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
That's kind of what I did just earlier today. Is just one of those fights where you know you're not going to win it, but you just want to grab who you can on the way.
you never know. You never know. I've done some crazy kills and that I actually thought this is never gonna work, and then it turns out that the people only like moved his ship. I was like, okay, how about put anything on it? But yeah,
Yeah.
how do you think Eve Echoes runs today?
As just being mainly a PvP player, I don't really know as far as the industry side, but I have a pretty good feeling about it. I think we have a lot of the same complaints, about how insurance affects the game. Um, you know, NetEase, kind of pushing for the dollar, but I really don't know.
What would you do with the insurance?
I don't think they should give insurance out
At all? At
through
all?
awards at all. And I don't think that it should be something that's tied to the Plex market. But mm, I don't know. I really don't have any answer for it. It's
Okay.
unfortunate that they introduced it to begin with. When you think about it, I think it's one of those things that when they started it, they can't stop it.
Yeah, they started with, ticket your ship because the game was unstable and people died. And they got a new ship if they got disconnected when they're doing missions and stuff. And that became probably the norm for people. And when they was going to remove it, like the ticket system, when everything worked, which took forever, they kind of understood that they had to implement something else because people were gonna freak out. And I think it was the wrong decision. But I do think we can have insurance. I just think that insurance should be tied to the ship and not the character. Like now you just buy a bunch of insurance and you can fly whatever, and if you don't die, it's fine. You just keep it. Now if you have to pay for your Armageddon 2 insurance and you don't die and you decide to sell it, you will lose the insurance. So people will be like, this is my PvE ship, I don't need to insure it, and then they don't have to, but then they might die. I think that would be something okay. And then we could keep the LP, but it's tied to a ship. Like it's tied to the hull, like to the hull of the ship. It's not tied to the items. So if you change it, it doesn't matter because the items, you will still lose the items, but you can get back the hull.
Yeah, no, that makes good sense. Yeah, that's a good way to go too.
Yeah, because the ships will be expensive on the fitting in the future. Uh, so you will fit your ship cheaper to not lose as much, and then you become weaker in the fight. So then you will lose. So whatever you do, you will lose. But yeah, I think it's good. I think that would be good. I don't know the numbers, like 20-30% of the like of the price of the hull to get back the ship. I don't know if that would be fair, but I mean, it's up to them to calculate that. But all right, do you feel that something is missing in the game? What do you want to have today that we don't have?
I think what they need to do is create more. It's not encounters, I guess, as much as events. To help the player base. That are on the lower tier side, and stuff that doesn't require so much ISK. People, if you're going to go into an event, or if you're going to go into a PvP situation, whatever the case is, everybody's putting their biggest and best against it usually. I just think that if they ran some events that gave you reason to bring in, like our faction war games, it would be nice if they could bring it where you can bring in your own ship, uh,
Yeah.
and then play that way. I think that that's what's missing is just more stuff for those players that are newer to the game. Because I know when I started the game, it was very hard to try to break free from the learning portion. And by the time you're done learning the game, you're not flying a lot of the cheaper stuff and staying around low sec and things of that nature. I just kill everything out there.
I like to ask these questions because those people who listen to it, they might not listen to every podcast that I have. And so, I mean, I do ask the same questions, but what I do get different answers. And the more people who say stuff like you are doing right now is good. Like if Nedis is watching or listening to this, then they can hear that it's not just 5 content creators or 5 like official content creators or whatever that say that we need this and this, and trying to be beneficial to whatever they want. This podcast is with everyone, so this is your time to say what you think, and so that people can hear, like, yeah, it's like everyone thinks differently, but most of them say this and that. And I agree. I would like the faction warfare to be like a hardcore one where you can actually use your ship, or maybe not a hardcore one, but you can use your ship and you have like tiers, like frigates and cruisers, destroyers, battle cruisers, and battleships. And they go in and you choose like battleships, and then you pick your Vindicator or your Balgorn, and then there's like 10 battleships versus 10 battleships, and you have to kill like whatever you have to do, and claim all these areas. I think that would be amazing. Holy shit, that's the Vindicator again. Damn it, come here. Stuff like that. It would be awesome. So in the future, Aviv, can I ask you what you want to have?
I would say in the future, I'd like to see a lot more tactics added. It's a little tricky to do, I know, but we've seen like interceptors going through bubbles. We've seen, synode carriers and dreads. I think that a lot of those things tactics have to continue to evolve, and I think sometimes they get stagnant. And like drone bombs, I would like hearing that come around. So um, I'd say things like that are what I like to look forward to, because I want to see the tactics change. I want to see these things change on the grid.
That's a good answer. I've never got that answer before, and I like that.
Because I think we're about maxed out. You can go in certain directions with your ship. I mean, there's lots of strategies, as you know, on what kind of ship, but it's kind of like a rock paper scissors setup, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's good now, but it definitely can continue to grow.
Yeah, since everyone gets better at the game and more people get the same ships, then we need some changes. Indeed. Now, we talked briefly about this, but you have a YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will link that one in the description. But what do you do on your YouTube? What kind of videos is it?
I don't have a whole lot of videos on there. I originally used it to show my corp mates videos. We were talking about different stats and stuff, and then I would make a video of it, and then I would post it on there just for them. And when I did my low sec hunt, I got a lot of kills one week, and I had all of it recorded. So I went ahead and made a pretty nice video, and I thought, I'm gonna put it up here and call it the kill reel. And then so that's kind of how that started, and I got up to episode 11, and I guess I like to make PvP fun and entertaining for people.
Yeah.
And as I started it, I'm not as good as a lot of these other guys. They make really good videos. I think you even just had Captain Rainbeard on here, and he's a good example. but yeah, I just started out just showing my buddies some stuff, and then mainly just putting out kill reels.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen a few of them.
It's always nice whenever in game people are like, "Oh, you got that Balgorn, but he was AFK," and all I have to tell them, "No, you just have to watch episode 8, about 4 minutes in."
Yeah,
You'll see him. You'll see him sit there trying to shoot me, but he can't.
yeah. Well, people always do that in videos. I got one today, so there's always this guy who goes in and I don't know. He's like he don't think, he just write what he feels. And I mean, yeah, sure, it's fine, but it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean they have right. So, but yeah, I will link that in the description so people can watch it. I do like videos without effects when I like if I'm looking for like tips on how to play.
Right.
Like I can watch you how you do your PvP just to know how to fight you when I meet you. And
Yeah.
if you make a lot of effects like I do, I have like my videos is not actually to show kills, it's just to show cool effects and make it an enjoyable, interesting experience pretty much. I like what I'm killing or how I kill it's not really the main thing. It's just I want to, zoom here, zoom there and make everything work with the music. That's kind of what I do, but it's actually not what I mainly watch because you can't really see what's happening. It's just cool.
Yeah. Yep. And
Yeah.
that's that was kind of the angle I wanted to have with them. You know what I mean? It was just like a um like a solo kill video, music video.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna be fun to watch. And also, I think they're good just because they're mainly with the bellicose. Is people can watch it and see what the bellicose can do, and kind of understand the dynamics, over many fights. I used to watch some other YouTubers where they would dissect, one fight, and it's a lot of good info, but I'm into the game, whereas if somebody's just getting into it, they want a lot of excitement and things thrown at them, and that's what I try to do is make it entertaining as possible for somebody that might not quite understand ev.
Yeah. So, do you fly anything else? Like, is there any other ship that you really like except the Bellicose?
Um, of course, the bellicose would be my favorite, but I do fly the rattlesnake now and the Raven Striker, of course, but I think I'm really digging the rattlesnake. I've used it for PvE quite a bit, and then I've recently started doing some PvP with it, and it is just a really tanky ship. And yeah, I think I love the rattlesnake.
It's gonna be good with the new implants, I think.
Yeah, have they said what they are yet?
There's 2 drone implants that would probably be very good. I think I'm just gonna say it. I think that the rattlesnake will go up in price. Just so you know, boys, if you wanna buy it. But yeah, I think because rattlesnake is like people don't really use it for PVE, and I think that it kind of looks like the implants will actually make the rattlesnake a lot better. Now, of course, you got implants for the lasers and stuff as well, but they also have I kind of read it as they have a downside to it. Don't burn your guns and I didn't see anything about that on the drone implants. So I think drone implants might be more AFK-ish, which would suit the rattlesnake very good. Just what I think. I don't know if it's true. Do you play any other games besides Evacos?
No, none at all.
It's Evacos 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you keep track of your kill marks?
I do, to a degree. I check them every now and then.
Do you know how many you have?
Let's see, total, I have no idea, but as far as from my main hunting ships, I probably have like 100 miscellaneous that I can think of, and then like 250 on the Bellicose 2, and like 300 on the Bellicose 3, I think.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, and of course, I like the fact that they're just most of all those kill marks are solo. You know,
Yeah, but
that's
that's
my
like,
real achievement.
yeah, that's good for you. I mean, that's what you. I mean, if you know it, that's good, but it's nothing you can brag about because people get kill marks by killing pods, I hear. So, you know,
Yeah, I've heard that. I've always avoided killing pods, but is that true?
yeah, it's obviously true. So
Hmm.
just use an alt and kill it like 1,000 times, and then you have it. So it's really bad. I mean, that made me, I don't really care at all. Like, I got 8,000 kill marks. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, otherwise it would be nice. I mean, as I say, like, if kill marks would disappear when you die with your ship, kill marks would have been fucking amazing. And if someone say I got
Yeah.
300 kill marks, I would hunt that guy because I wanted to explode that ship, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have that many kill marks on my ships.
I would have 2 today. Tomorrow I would have
Yeah,
0. So
I think I would keep like 12. I seem to get like I usually get about 10 kills before I lose my bellicose.
oh, that's good. That's actually good.
Something. But that's like my hunting week. I'll go out hunting and I might hit a venture and then I'll hit a caracal and then an oracle too, and then maybe a prophecy, So
Yeah.
so it's just got like a bunch of different targets that I'll hit. So, but yeah.
You know what would be even cooler? I just thought of this right now. To have a like I've been talking about bounty system before, but how about this? Instead of kill marks, or maybe we can have kill marks as well, but how about a bounty system that it's added to your ship when that ship is killing someone else? Then you have a number. Like, this ship has killed this much and before it died or something. I don't know. I just had
Yeah.
that feeling, that would be cool.
Yeah, I heard about net worth not being in Eve Echoes where it's on Eve Online. I heard that once, and I'd like to see that in Eve Echoes.
Dude, we need
That's
that.
kind of a that's kind of a different thing there, but yeah. I like your idea though, where somebody that takes you down can see the net worth of that ship as far as the assets it's taken out. That would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that would be really nice. All right. We are over an hour, and I like to have the podcast who is in within an hour.
Awesome. No worries. Thank you, Chief.
Are you gonna start or am I gonna start?
Oh,
That's fine. I might keep that. Thank you, Kevinator1990, for being here, my man. And yeah, this was a lot of fun.
it has been fun, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you too. Bye bye.